And when they recruited them, they said that what they looked for was people to be, men to be in exceptional physical condition so that they would represent the Olympics.
If you saw some of the protests that we saw, you know, coverage-wise in London and in Paris, it was pretty rough with some of the protesters rushing toward the torchbearers. I think it was in Paris they had to extinguish the flame at least five times.
Yeah. And they continue to make the run down Van Ness Avenue. Van Ness, you know, it's also known as Highway 1. It's usually an extremely busy thoroughfare, and it's the way that you can cross the city down from the marina and from that area down by Fisherman's Wharf. Once you get past it, that you cross, goes across the marina, goes right down through the middle of the backside of kind of like Pacific Heights is up Broadway one direction. It goes all the way down until it literally goes right into the Mission District.
As you can see on the other side, traffic is at a standstill. A little movement here and there, but otherwise, I mean, with this new route, traffic is affected, and it's probably going to be affected for the rest of the day.
And I think we just saw the flame attendant turn out the flame, and the last torch turn it on for this new pair of runners as they not so much run as walk. It's more of an Olympic torch walk.
Well, it was a torch run, and then a torch drive, then a torch run, now a torch walk. Bottom line, it's making its way through San Francisco and hopefully to Justin Herman Plaza within the next hour or two, but this has been taking more time than expected, and because of the heightened security measures.
It would be great to be able to hear from some of the people, obviously, that are lining this route as to what their surprise and their wonder at actually seeing this spectacle unfold before their very eyes when they didn't expect it to.
Now, some of these torch runners, and 77 in all, we believe, because one dropped out yesterday, two dropped out today. Some of them got the opportunity to run this because of an essay contest. But once more, police are flanking these runners.
Okay. We understand that Mayor Willie Brown is walking toward our reporter, Christian Captain, who's at Justin Herman Plaza. Let's go to him and see if they can make contact with each other and see if Willie Brown or Christian know anything different. There he is, Mayor Brown.
Well, we can tell you that there have definitely been some adjustments here. I think that most of the crowd here still, again, largely unaware that the torch took that very strange route, that it went first in that van and then now it's going down Van Ness in that area. We can tell you right now, though, that one of the torchbearers has shown up here at Justin Herman Plaza. Let's go ahead and show you just about 30 yards or so to my left. Former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown is here now. He may be the final torchbearer carrying the torch into Justin Herman Plaza. Again, he arrived just within the last 5 minutes or so. He's now standing just about 30 yards away from the end, from the finish line for that torch relay. We can also tell you that he has heavy security around him, at least 3 or 4 uniformed officers and a couple of officers who appear to be either with the Secret Service or something like that. So we can certainly tell you that Willie Brown is here, so he may very well be the final person to carry that torch across the finish line here into Justin Herman Plaza. No timeline as of yet. We haven't heard a lot of information about that yet. And again, I think the crowd here largely unaware that all of this has been changing throughout the day. As far as most of the crowd here is concerned, it's business as normal.
Christian, can you get closer to Willie Brown and see if he knows, if he's been told that he is the final torchbearer?
You know, we will try to get a little bit closer to him in just a couple of minutes. We are kind of locked down here, but he is behind a barricade. We will try to get a little bit closer to him in just a couple of minutes and see if we can find out exactly what's going on and what he knows about what the new torch route is and the new torch plans.
Okay, thank you very much, Christian.
As you can see by a live shot, it's being handed off that torch to another set of runners, a little break-in activity at this point.
How many sets have we had so far? Is this the 4th exchange, Lisa?
I think it is.
Yeah. So that would put us at 8, 10 runners by now. Looks like a new phalanx of, or brigade of bicycle officers coming in. You know, and just I think if we were to open up and pull out, we would be able to see that just as we had said, what they did is that they went ahead and they dropped off the runners along the route, first dropping off and then continuing so that the runners and this whole group of police just keep running toward the other group who, we can't see it right now, but I'm imagining they're keeping them inside the bus until the until the group of police officers gets closer. Then they get them out of the bus, they get ready, they light the flame, they move forward. So not allowing then the other torch bearers or the other torch runners ever out of the bus until they're safely surrounded
Right,
by
you can see
that
by our
group of
torch
police
cam
officers.
the type of tour buses that are at the beginning of this motorcade, and like you said, they're dropping off 2 by 2. You know, we have cameras, we've got reporters, you know, just all across San Francisco right now covering this torch relay run, but we would also appreciate if you're out there, you got a cell phone, take a picture. Got some video, send it in. We'd like to show those pictures as well so you can help us out in this coverage. We can see what you're seeing out there on the ground. So send them in to NBC11@Veecker.com and we'll put them on the air, of course.
Let's bring in Officer Lum, if he's still in our San Francisco bureau, if we could bring him in just quickly to ask him a couple of questions. Officer Lum, are you still out there?
Yes, I am.
Surprised by this?
Not really. And as I've said earlier, there will be alternate routes, you know, during the planning process. And it seems to me they have chosen this particular route mainly because of the fact that there are no protesters. And I can also see that the San Francisco Police Department has deployed either the specialist platoon or that of the tactical platoon. That these are the officers who are running side by right next to the torch. And these officers are highly trained, and they are also, well, amongst the best physically fit officers in the department.
Now, if it continues like this and they're able to complete the entire course, the fact that they moved it over here, you would consider this a success for the police department in terms of how they handled it and the fact that they were able to pull it off?
Oh, definitely. The mission of the police department is to facilitate the First Amendment rights of the protesters and also that of the torch. So if we are able to successfully bring the torch into the conclusion without any incident, then that would be a job well done.
All right, thank you. Officer Lum, sit tight for a second.
And as you can see by our torch cam, we've got a single runner carrying that torch at this point. Lots more activity on Van Ness. NBC 11's Garvin Thomas is along the Embarcadero near the ferry building. How's the activity there, Garvin? It looks like it's getting a little loose.
It's emptying out fast. If you can see the live picture right now, you're looking at the thousands of people who were at AT&T Park kind of streaming down the Embarcadero, heading toward the ferry building in Justin Herman Plaza. They've realized, of course, they're not going to see the torch hanging out at the Embarcadero. A couple of points I wanted to mention. One, you got to ask down later on, do the protesters view this as a victory or a failure? The torch is being run, but it certainly wasn't run down here. Whether it was planned all along or because of the protest, they've stopped it from going down the Embarcadero. One thing else I want to say we've noticed from being here all day, you had pro-Tibet or pro-China and anti-China protesters. There was hardly anyone else. You would imagine that there were some people here. You would see maybe families come down to look at the torch. Nobody like that showed up at all today as far as we could see, just one side or the other. Mostly peaceful throughout the course of the day, but they did block off the street, and we can take another look down, looking down the Embarcadero as the folks stream by. A lot of these people, of course, asking us what's going on. Some still thinking that the torch had gone by boat, not really knowing what was going on, but they're going to head down to Justin Herman Plaza, and I think a lot of them are hoping to get at least a quick glimpse of it down there.
It's interesting very much that they really are in the complete wrong position at this point for viewing the torch, and for they certainly had hours today to send their message on an international scale, but the actual, moment of being able to see the torch for themselves, until you say, Garvin, until they get to Justin Herman Plaza, they won't have that experience.
And there you see by our torch cam, Chapter 11 as well, a couple of other runners, that is, carrying the torch, and the crowd is building along Van Ness, and as Garvin mentioned, more everyday people, not protesters, are crowding the street to get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see this torch run. Lots of cops obviously guarding the runners and the motorcade itself.
And the question now becomes whether they had, the protesters and the pro-China people also had a lot of infrastructure today in getting to the Embarcadero. The question now becomes, is as more word filters out that they were actually on Van Ness, can they mobilize to get to this location, or at this point, is that just a lost cause? Are they going to move to Justin Herman Plaza and wait?
Yeah, there might be just very well maybe a rush to Justin Herman Plaza. You're looking at our ground torch cam right now, what you can see on the ground. What's happening, it's a little block from the vehicles there. The satellite obviously is freezing up once in a while. But
let's show you the actual Chopper 11 shot so we can orient you as to where you are right now. They are at the corner of Broadway and Van Ness. If they, when we were in the pullout shot, you could see the very famous church that's on the corner of Broadway. So that main intersection right there is Broadway. That Broadway will take you directly down to the Embarcadero as well. So that is a direct route down almost just a little bit shy of the ferry plaza.